This is Rebecca, the Steampunk Planner, and I am getting ready to do some inking of my pens. Been writing a lot more, and I'm going through a fill of my pen a week, of each of my pens. So, this is what I have currently inked, or needing to be inked. I have my Esterbrook Honeycomb with the needlepoint nib, and this one always gets the De Atramentis Black Archive ink. Next, I have my new Leonardo Memento Magical, which is a piston fill, and this also has a needle nib, but it has a architect. And both of those grinds were done by Kirk Spear. I ordered the pen from him. And this one has the De Atramentis Document Sepia Brown in it. This pen is my Winter White Esterbrook. This was a gift for me for my birthday from my husband, and it was purchased also from Kirk because we did a extra fine nib with an imperial and reverse architect on that, and currently it is being inked with the Urban Gray document ink by De Atramentis. I also normally have the black in my Raven, which has an extra fine, and it is the piston fill. But I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it there. I do need to refill it as well. I usually use this for work. It's a great feel to my pen. I honestly was questioning having it possibly ground so it would be more of an extra fine. But I am loving this for my work journal. And I'm trying to decide if I still want to do the archive ink or if I want to try the Shogun or my carbon ink. So I haven't fully decided on that one. I also have a new pen. Esterbrook last week had a clearance sale. I think it was a clearance sale. It was just an extra sale that I received an email on. And at that time, I had saved up some points to be able to use for a discount. Taking an up close look here, this is the limited edition Camden Oktoberfest. I wanted to get this because my birth month is October. I did not make it a priority, mainly because I can't get the nib that I really wanted, which was another needle, but I figured an extra fine would work. Currently, Esterbrook does have this on sale. Take advantage. I'll make sure the link is below. It is a limited edition. It does have the normal silicone in here. Mine has the silicone sitting a lot closer, so I will have a little bit more of a push that I need to make, but I don't care because I know every time I open this, the ink is going to be fresh and it's not going to be dried out and killing my nib. So as stated, this is the extra fine nib. And I will probably at the show have this nib imperialed, which just means taking that edge off the round tip so that I get that more calligraphy type of a look that I get with my winter white that Kirk created. Sorry, I haven't done anything with this since I got it, so it's a little tight. There we go. May need to just get a little bit of grease on the threads on the inside. But here is the rest of this feeder. This is the nib, the feeder, and then it connects to the housing, the inside housing with the grip. And here we have the converter. And I'm really happy with the converters. They do connect well. They don't turn. I just give a twist when I push it in. And then the piston always moves very smoothly on here in every single one that I've gotten. I do miss the piston, but that was not available. So I'm going to definitely get some grease for that before I go to fill it. So I believe my decision is I am going to use the Ferris Wheel Press Sparkling Champagne. I missed out on the buttered popcorn and I was saving up for it, wanting to get it, and by the time I had the money for it, it was gone. So this is going to have to be the best alternative. Let's take a quick look at all of the inks I have chosen. So this is a sepia brown, and it is on the Tomo River, the Rhodia Cream, Erin Condren, and the Oneo, not to mention cardstock here. And it is really interesting how different it shows here. And when I write with it, it's more in this area of coloring when I write, mainly because it is with the needlepoint. Always take into consideration that your nib is going to change how your ink is going to show up. Now, this is the document Archival Black ink by De Atramentis as well. And we have the same papers, Rhodia Cream, Erin Condren, Tomo River, and Aneo. But this is not a true black. It's more of a gray black. It's still usable. I use it in my Raven and in my needles, so it will give me that black, but I really do want a solid black more so. Here is the Urban Gray, which is also a De Atramentis document ink, and I love this. This has been in my Winter White, and it's been great, but this one is the Sparkling Champagne that I am considering putting into my Oktoberfest. And I think I will. I'm not big time crazy about the shimmer, but the best thing about shimmer is because it settles to the end of the bottle. If I don't want shimmer, I just don't need to shake the bottle. So we'll give that a test and see what that's like when I don't shake it. All right, so I am going to use this page that I have, which is part of the inside of this Dutch door. And I'm going to use this area, I think, for doing ink swatching and over here. I do have my sepia holder with my B1 shader. And I also have my deleter with my brass Kakimori nib. We are going to get to sampling here. This is the Sparkling Champagne. And here we have the bottle, and I want to turn it over because I wanted to show you how really in depth that gold is. And it's a heavier weight because you can see if it's a lighter weight, it will start to fall into the ink a lot faster. So this is a heavier weighted. You can see some of the ink that is falling through the ink, but it really is not moving. So that just tells me it's a heavier sparkle. And we'll start over here. I am not going to be examining this. I do have my card in here underneath to keep it from bleeding through, just in case. I have not found that it does, but you never know. This is a lot more ink in that one specific area. And let me get some with my Kakimori nib. And I'm really loving how this looks. Honestly, it reminds me of the wearing Yule haystack. I think that's what it's called. I'll make sure on the screen that I have the right name for it. I do know that the wearing Yule one does not have a shimmer, so just in case. And I'm going to go ahead and fill up my Oktoberfest and be right back. So we're all set. This has dried beautifully. And let's take a quick look at the back. No bleed through, very, very little shadowing, which is fine. and let me test it out in my extra fine Oktoberfest. I really do like how it's writing. It is soft, but this is for my memory keeping and for maybe highlighting something or making something a little bit so that it stands out. You can see over here, this stands out. This is the Star Child by Wearing Eel, and you see how it stands out, and this will work just as fine. And it looks like my honeycomb I actually just filled. So I did forget that, and you can see it still has tons of ink in the converter. So this is set. Let's make sure everything is closed up, and I don't need to do my honeycomb. Beautiful. My winter white does need to be filled. It ran out last night, and you can see the window here showing that there is nothing in that one. So let's get that one going. We're going to do a quick swatching using my shader. I really, really love this. You've heard me, if you've been watching my other videos, state more than once how much I love raw umber and gray type of looks. So this one definitely is it for me. There we go. Since I have not decided yet on what to do in my Raven, let's go ahead to my Memento Magico and we're going to fill that one up. I am going to be using the Sepia Brown. With that filled, I want to go ahead and sample this down here. With how different this showed up on the card sample, I'm really curious on what it's going to do here. The interesting thing about this sepia brown is it is very fluid when I use my Kakimori nib or I use the shader, even when I use my glass pen. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and let me shift everything. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and use my Leonardo to finish this out. You can see how different that is. And I love the softness. I do enjoy it this way as well, but I really love the softness here. And there is that one. One last one, and I do think I would like to try the Chu Karu Platinum Black. I know you guys are probably doing the, woman, why are you fussing so much over black ink? Not all black inks are created equal, at least in my book. You'll find more stubbornness when it comes to black from an artist than you will from anybody using a regular black. I can tell you right now, my husband would probably come over here and go, I don't understand the difficulty here. But for me, it is, because when I lay down or when I write with black, I expect it to be full on black, blackout, black, black, black. And I have not been getting that with most of my black inks. I am not looking for a dark gray. I'm not looking for a charcoal gray. I'm looking for black. So I have got my Raven all set. And there we are. So these are my updates right now for the rest of this month, for work and for my memory keeping. Thank you for joining me.